Okay. If you are Ariel's sisters or somehow his student that determined found this, I end every podcast with a Mary question. Jay Armstrong is a recently retired English teacher. He is from the Philadelphia area. And when he was teaching, he would spend 2 days breaking apart Thunder Road as a poem. It would be his seniors, his honor English teacher students, and they would break it apart as a poem, look at the lyrics, look at the themes, and then at the end of the 2 days, he would ask his class, does Mary get in the car? Ariel, that is your question. Does Mary get in the car at the end of Thunder Road?
Yeah, it's a great question. My son saw your the questions you sent me, so
Yeah.
he asked me he asked me to explain exactly what that was. So we went
Oh,
through the whole thing. I read
nice.
part of yeah, it was nice. So I actually have two answers. One is that forgive me, I don't really care. And this goes back to what I told you before about Broadway. I mean, art has its own magic, and part of what literature can do is stop things in the middle. In life, we can never, ever, ever do that, whether we want to or not. But in art, we can. So I would like to first of all just enjoy the fact that we have no idea. So that's my sort of my first answer. If you'd push me, I'd say that of course she gets in the car, and that's simply because Springsteen. I had over the last few years, I listened to tons and tons of Dylan songs, and it's so interesting to compare those two because they both have an unbelievable linguistic and musical intelligence. But their vision of how an individual grows is very different, I think. I think with Dylan, you always have to leave. Once again, not biographically, I'm not referring to his own family, but you always have to go on. There's so many Dylan songs, so that's the bottom line. And with Springsteen, in a sense, it's the other way around. You always have to connect. So of course he comes in, and of course he comes along, and it's not easy for them. And when you're alone, and so on. But he's all for connecting and staying in touch, even when it's really, really tough. So I'd support that.
Well, I love both answers. A couple people have said that answer where, in fact, Brian Koppelman, when he was not when he was on the podcast, but when he was on his podcast and his daughter read my question, he said he didn't want to know the answer. He thinks
Yeah.
the beauty of the song is knowing, not knowing, similar to The Lady and the Tiger, right? That famous short story. I love that answer. Ariel, this has been a blast. I hope it has been worth the time.
Of course it was. Of
I,
course it
I
was.
I
It's
am so honored and happy that we have spent time together. Are you on any social media? Do you want to share if someone wants to reach you?
I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
If anyone looks for me on Facebook, it's all in Hebrew, but
Okay.
I do reply.
Okay.
And I believe I have a dormant Instagram
Okay.
account. I'm not sure it's still there.
Okay.
But Facebook is probably good
Okay.
enough.
That sounds good. Well, you go get some rest. Thank you for staying up late for me. Listeners, reach out. Let me know if you want to join me because I'm always looking for great conversations and guests. Go get vaccinated, go get boosted, and let's be kind to each other right now because that's what we need to do to get through this. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you,
Thank you so
listeners.
much.
We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye. Hello, everyone. I am Jesse Jackson, and I hope you enjoyed this small clip from one of my Set Listing Bruce episodes. I'm always looking for feedback and, more importantly, guests. If you want to share your Springsteen fandom story and answer the Mary question, post below on the comments or send me an email to setlistingbruce@gmail.com. If you're passionate about other musicians or topics, I'm always up to record a B-side episode where we get off the Bruce train and dive into other topics. For now, stay hard, stay hungry, stay alive. Meet me in a dream of this hard land, and I'll see you further on up the road.